Guys, Tales Point Horror Book Club, Nightmare Hall, The Wish, Wishes Granted, Fortunes Told. And this was some book. Yeah, it was an interesting one, so I can't wait to chat about it. I'm in a new setup. I know it looks the same. I realised earlier I compared and I thought, oh, actually, it doesn't look any different, but I am actually in a different house, but it seems that it just looks the same. Right, let me add Dusty Burn in, if he's here. Hi, everybody. And thank you for bearing with me this week. Still being here for this crazy ride of a book. So hopefully Dustin will be here. Dusty Burn!
Woohoo!
Hello!
Hey!
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh,
Yes.
yeah, of course you could, because you said hello. Oh, dear. It's started already.
Oh my God. Yeah, maybe the
Oh,
wizard got to you. The wizard got to your hearing.
scared of that wizard, you know. Oh, I'm just glad my internet connection's okay, because I haven't tried it in this new room yet. So,
It seems
yay! Yay for
pretty strong.
internet. Yeah, I know, good. Oh, I love your cover as well. It's like the window cover. Mine got damaged, my American one.
Yeah,
Sad. Oh, so cool.
they are really cool. And I hate when they did the reprint. It's just this, that's it, but you don't get to see what's behind it. I hate
Yeah.
that. So,
Oh, just yeah, I love those like window covers. I love the VC Andrews ones as well with the windows.
yeah.
Chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Oh, hi Georgia, hi Josh, hi
Hello,
everybody.
everybody.
So I meant to say to you, this is my actual original copy from back in the day,
Oh,
and then
really?
what I must have done years ago is when I opened the book, I found a lottery ticket in it, which must have been a lottery ticket I
Oh,
brought
man.
the
I hope
four.
that was just used as a bookmark.
Well, I brought it on the 4th of the 4th, 2001, so it's a vintage lottery ticket. So, yeah, I presume I can't claim if I've won now,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
you
I
know.
wish
Hey
that
ho.
that would be so horrible if you looked up that date
Yeah.
and you're like,
But
no. Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
how cool is that? Like a little memory from like 2001 randomly,
Yeah.
like in my book.
Oh my God.
So,
I would be so disappointed if I found out that I won something like
oh
big.
dear. I daren't look. I must have
Yeah, you don't
checked it
need
at
to
the
now.
time.
Don't do it now.
I must have checked it at the time and then just use it as a bookmark at some point, probably.
For real.
But yeah,
So
I thought,
yeah,
how cool is that?
it's
Um,
awesome. My cover.
yeah,
So I got mine, like you saw in my little review. I got mine. I ordered mine, and they're actually very good. Nothing,
yeah,
no
they look.
creases or anything. Although it did used to belong to a Carrie Hoffman
Oh,
written on there. So it's always interesting when you find out somebody claimed the book and they will
oh,
forever be a part of this book. So,
oh, I love that. I love finding names in like old books and things,
hmm
and I used to write my name. So somewhere out there, because I lost a lot of my original copies, but somewhere out there, probably my original name, which was Michelle Collins, scribbled in the top. So if anyone ever finds any, that's me.
oh my goodness.
Can you imagine? That would be so
Hey,
cool,
I'd
though.
be funny if somebody was watching. It's like, hey,
Yeah, is
what
this
the?
you, Shelley?
That's who you are.
Yeah,
Okay, that'd be
exactly.
interesting.
Caroline says she loves the US Nightmare Hall covers.
Aren't they
Yeah, they're
awesome?
so cool.
So
Yeah.
cool. The original. I don't know how long they kept doing the window covers though.
I think they just
I
did them on the first prints, I think, and then the
right,
second prints were the
but for
not.
how long did they do
Mm,
all of the books that way, or did they
don't
switch? A lot of times they
think
switch midway
so. I
through.
think they did switch probably about because there's more books in America, the Nightmare Hall, than we got in the
Was
UK.
it? Is it like 19 or 20 something? How many is it?
Something like that. Yeah, and then in America there's like 26 or something
Oh
like
my gosh.
that. Yeah, there's quite a lot. Some of the later ones are really rare to find as well.
Mm,
Like the dummy. Oh, it's just a nightmare.
hence the name.
Yeah. So yay to Dusty Bun joining us for more Nightmare Hall. Like, I'm so
Yay!
pleased that we're like working through this book series. Like, we've started a tradition, and I love traditions.
I
Just
do too,
makes me
and I
feel
love
all
the
warm.
videos we get to do along with it.
Oh, I know that video we did was just, I loved it. It was like a little bucket list item as well. I always wanted to recreate that scene as well.
I'm glad we got to. I'm glad we did.
Yeah, it was really good. And if you don't know Dustin, he runs a brilliant podcast on the Rewatch Recap
Yes,
podcast. And what are you recapping at the moment? Is it Dead Like Me?
yes, we're doing Dead Like Me all the way
Yeah.
through the end of October,
Yeah.
and then we'll be picking up in November with Marvel's Runaways, which was a
Oh, you keep telling
Hulu
me to
slash
watch that.
Disney Plus show. Yeah, if you like the
Yeah.
OC and Gossip Girl, but also like superhero stuff, you'll like this. It's a
Ooh.
mash of both.
I remember you telling me when we did Misfits for the podcast, you were saying about
Hmm.
Runaways to me. So maybe it's my time to watch that because I've
You
never
might like it.
seen
I
it.
think you will. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you also run your own little book club as well on this channel, Dustin Can Read.
Yes, inspired
Um,
by you. I
oh,
had
I love
to. I was like,
it.
I want to be like Shelley. So, so I started doing that this year, and so next month we're going to be doing Fear Street, which a lot of people. Karen will be in on it. Jesse from Jesse's House of Pulp and Hiko from Fear Street Diaries. We're all going to do separate Fear
Oh,
Street books and kind of do it like a book report, or we don't know what the other one's going to present.
oh,
So we
wow, I
might
love
even get some
that.
of the same. We'll see, but
Yeah.
we're going to do it kind of at random, and
Oh,
it'll
that's
be a
such a good
fun thing to watch,
idea.
especially if you're a Fear Street
Yeah.
fan. So
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I'm definitely going to check that out. So that's next month, October, spooky month.
yes,
Woo! Karen's put hi from Twilight Town. Karen's in Italy at the
yes.
moment,
She
and
went. She
I've
climbed the
never,
Volturi Tower.
I've never seen Twilight, so
What?
I know Karen's been to. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Oh,
I know.
it's so like now it's so bad, but it's still so good. It's like watching like a really bad Hallmark movie, but with vampires and stuff. So I would definitely check them out.
Well, I promised Karen I would watch it because, like, I want to see what this clock tower thing
That's in the
is
second
all
movie.
about.
You
Oh,
need to
so
see the
I
first
need
movie
to
though,
watch.
so it's in
Oh,
context. So
okay, right. I'm on it. I'm on it. Kirsty said I've got 40 pages left of the roommate left, so I can catch up on your chat about that too. Oh yeah, the
okay. Oh
roommate.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
that's a
Oh,
little
Sharon.
crazy.
Heather said, "What about that? I've never seen Twilight." And Sharon said, "Me neither, Shelley, and I've never read the books." No, I haven't either. I tried to, I just couldn't get into
There's
it.
not a lot of horror in it. It's more fantasy than anything. But
Yeah.
and I'm glad. It looks like what's her name? I just saw it. Kirsty. Kirsty S. I don't know how you say the name.
Kirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that like me too.
Oh,
So you should
yeah,
check it
dead
out.
like
Check
me.
out
Yes.
Rewatch You Have.
Yeah, Karen's
Okay.
telling me to watch it, and Melina's never seen Twilight either. Ooh, I'm gobsmacked you haven't seen Twilight, Caroline
Caroline,
says.
you and me both.
Yeah, me
Totally.
too. To be honest, how have I never seen it?
Uh,
Anyway, so tonight we're going to be chatting about the fourth instalment in the Nightmare Hall, and they can be read in any order. There's not any like series to them.
although I
You just get a
think
few
reading them in order has been kind
cameos.
of an interesting
Yeah,
experience.
yeah. I really wanted to like read them in order just to see, and then it's interesting seeing the cameos, which we'll have a little chat about in a
Yeah.
little bit. But yeah, this is the fourth one, and this one was published in 1995 in the UK, but I believe it was 1993 in the US. So we got it a couple of years later.
Yeah. It was
And I
93. Yeah.
yeah, always love the tagline, "Where college is a scream," and a lot goes on at this college. Like, how do they even survive and get through the day?
Okay. First of all, I went ahead and I'm already reading the Scream Team now, so I'm not giving any major spoilers, but
Ah.
I'm fairly certain all five of these are taking place at the same time because
Oh,
this
yeah,
all
that's what
mentions
I
like
wonder.
stuff happening at Nightmare Hall the spring semester before, and this is usually like football time is usually in the fall, so all the stuff is happening in the fall, and they're all happening at the exact
Yeah.
same time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I love stuff like that when it's all like connected but not fully connected, but there's just like a little connection there.
The police in this town and at this university are just got their hands full, like in one
Yeah,
semester.
yeah. And they're just like, just let the kids get on with it.
Yeah.
They're not really that helpful. Hi, Kelly. Heather said movie night after the mummy. Yeah, Twilight, we'll have to see. Yeah, Kelly said, I'm surprised that they're still allowed to stay open. Yeah, that's very true.
Seriously, every kid's in
Yeah.
danger.
Yeah. So this one then is wishes granted, fortunes told. Says the sign in a booth at the campus pizza place, which we've encountered this pizza place before, Vinny's, in a couple of the other books, which I
Hmm.
kind of like that link. And inside the pizza place sits the wizard, which is an eerie wooden figure with sinister blue eyes. And Alex, our main character, Dustin, you do that so well.
Look at
That's
my
so
eyes, they're blue.
scary. Oh no. And Alex, our main character, is the first to notice the strange little booth in the corner.
Hmm.
And Alex's friends all make their wishes, and one by one their wishes come true, but in terrifying, twisted ways. So could the wizard be behind the horror? Or is it someone else? Or someone with a deadly wish of their own? Or dum dum dum. Heather's put pizza wizard, yeah. So we meet the wizard. So there's like a prologue that starts us off, and we meet the wizard
Hmm.
straight away. And we get to know that he's got a very well chiseled face. I think that was
Yeah.
reiterated quite a few times. He's very chiseled. Icy blue eyes, as we said. He's got a shirt on, which is kind of frayed at the cuffs. Paint is chipped. And I think I meant to write he's creaky, but on my notes I accidentally wrote cheeky, which,
It's a little bit, yeah.
still might fit.
Plus.
So what did you think of the wizard when we first met him? Were you like, ooh, did it give you any, like, it gave me big vibes, like, straight away.
Yeah.
How about you?
No, yeah. It did remind me of one of those booths
Yeah.
in any place. I've never been to one of the carnival like in big, but
Mm.
they're usually gypsy men is usually what I see in the booth, not the typical wizard, which I found some online. I think I shared them with you. Um,
Yeah. So
but yeah,
cool.
any all those like puppetry animatronic things, especially because they're so dead in the
Mm.
eyes that they want to look alive. That's creepy to me. It's like a clown
Yeah.
wearing the smile, but frowning actually, but having a painted on smile. It's like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
contradictory. It's like, is it alive? Is it not alive? So it's kind of like that's why it gives you that eerie feeling, you know?
Mm. Yeah, definitely. And it kind of reminded me a little bit, and obviously spoilers ahead for this book, but kind of reminded me a little bit of that Annabelle doll kind of
Mm,
feeling from the Conjuring films. That
right.
kind of like dead eye, like as you
Well,
say,
it's kind
and
of like before Chucky like wakes up and becomes Chucky. He
yeah,
just looks like a good, and you're like, oh, he's nice, and you're like, ah, and you're like, oh crap.
yeah. No, that's
You
so
know.
true. Yeah, and like straight away, I was definitely like, oh, this is going to be like a creepy one.
Hmm.
Um, I hoped, like a creepy like feeling to it. And our main character, I love how like she does talk to him quite a lot and like kind of tells him he's old and
Yeah.
obsolete. You know, she's just trying to piss that wizard off straight away. Piss the wizard off.
If she has that superstition about it, she would not be saying this stuff right next. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, do you believe in like fortune tellers and things? Like, if you went to one of those machines, would you just do it for fun, or would you believe what they told you?
Well, I have done
Oh,
one.
ooh,
Like Christy said, Zoltar.
Zoltar.
They're usually called Zoltar. And
Yeah.
so, but the one I did was like it didn't shoot out a card. It had like a list of things on the wall behind him and light bulbs along them, and it would just randomly select one, and that would be your fortune. So it would just tell you,
Oh,
which it's all fun and it's not. It's like getting a fortune cookie. It's what does it really mean, right?
yeah.
Um, I mean, I've gone to like a palm reader in New Orleans, and that felt a little more
Mm,
real than an actual like
yeah.
an animatronic machine.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. Yeah, yeah. I've had a palm reading before, and I know what you mean. I've never had anything from a machine like that, but it does
mhm.
feel more real when it's obviously human
If I got the
interaction.
card, maybe it would be, especially if it like seemed like it related to what I just said or wished.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Oh dear. I don't know how I would feel. Like I feel like I do believe, like I really believe in fate and like things are meant to happen and
Hmm.
that. But I think I don't know if it was a card. I think I would try and make it fit to something because just naturally, you just automatically then my mind would go that way. Do you know what I mean? I'd be
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
maybe that's that, or maybe that's that.
yeah.
But yeah,
Power of suggestion in a
I
way.
wouldn't
Yeah.
like to cross the wizard anyway. He
No.
sounded too creepy for
Hmm.
me. Lisa put, I watched Big as a kid and it made me forever afraid of those wizard machines. Yeah,
Because it was making like a breathing sound when it did it in
yeah,
the movie. It's
yeah.
like, I'm like, ooh, no, I don't want
Oh.
to. Not nice with
And
that.
imagine that in the corner of like a little pizza place as well. What was Vinny doing? Collecting his antiques amongst his fishing gear.
He said he got it for like dirt cheap or something, didn't he? Did he
Yeah,
say he got it for cheap? And it's like,
yeah,
okay, I guess if you got it for cheap, but like put it out front where people would see it more,
yeah.
you know.
Don't hide it in the back like a dirty secret.
Yeah, like it's near the on the way to the bathroom or something, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
Ooh.
Heather put, we saw Zoltar with some friends, and when my friend paid, Zoltar made it rain fortune cards. I think 10 of them popped out. Oh, that would freak me out. Can you imagine me like, coming out
You
the
want the fortunes?
machine?
Here's your fortunes.
Oh, oh
You're gonna
God.
die.
Beware!
Paper cut city. There you go. You're gonna die from paper cuts.
I know, I'd be like, ow, 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 as it came out. Oh gosh, I could just imagine.
Oh man.
Oh, Caroline says Shelley hasn't seen Twilight, but I haven't seen Big. So we need to do an exchange, Caroline. You watch Big and I'll watch Twilight.
You what? You haven't seen? Oh
Yeah.
my God. I totally missed that. That's crazy. Wow.
Kelly said that's how horoscopes work. Yeah, you kind of apply it to, yeah, what's going on, I guess,
Yeah.
in your life. That is a scarily good impression, Kirsty said. I'm not sure which impression that was. Maybe it was our natural features. Oh, it was that. Yeah,
I
that
think that's
was
what it
good,
was.
Dustin.
Maybe. Well,
That's well scary. uh,
Karen, do you guys even watch movies?
It's a
I
bit
have
hit
seen
and
both
miss.
Twilight and Big, so don't come at me.
I've seen Big. I've not read Twilight. I've not seen Twilight.
And I've read Twilight too. I've read all the books.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
a good egg. Lisa put, thanks, Dustin. Didn't want to sleep tonight. Memory / nightmare unlocked.
He'll be haunting
Oh,
you. He will be haunting you.
I'm so scared. Oh dear. So our main girl in this is Alexandra Edgar.
Ooh, what a name.
Alexandria. But Alex for short. Melina's put the little. So yeah, so apparently, she started off well. She had Bambi eyes, she was described as a wild white streak in her hair like a skunk. And she loves pasta. I think it's fettuccine alfredo better than pizza. So why they kept going back to the pizza place, I will never know.
Well, I'm
You
thinking
know.
it's just an Italian restaurant
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
but they specialize in pizza.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And creepy wizards. And she doesn't really believe in like this garbage of fortunes and wishes. And she's very like, she said she had a traumatic experience when she was younger,
Yeah.
with like an old lady type of thing. I mean, that sounds more horrific than the wizard. I think it was like an old lady animatronic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she had like a traumatized childhood from her parents' divorce. So she obviously she went through a lot, and then she goes through a lot in this book as well. So what
This
did you think
girl,
of
like,
Alex?
oh, I like Alex for the most part. She
Oh,
doesn't give up on what she's like. No, you're not going to gaslight me and make me think something isn't happening that I know is happening. She does
yes,
not let
that's
go. So I will
true.
give that to her. She's like,
Yeah,
She'll like say the first couple, okay, that's a coincidence. Hey, that's weird. Hey, this is all adding up. Like, at least she kind of starts. she doesn't like give up on it. She kind of like anybody would probably dismiss something
Mm,
right off, but then she's like,
yeah.
"Well, that was really strange how that worked out." And then somebody else gets hurt. That wizard said something like this would happen. You know, that it's like
Yeah. She
put it
likes to
together.
mull over it a little bit in her
Yeah,
mind, doesn't she?
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, she was okay. She was very. I found her quite headstrong, and she did
Hmm.
kind of say. I know she verbally says Kiki says what she thinks, but I think Alex was the same as well. She
Yeah,
definitely.
I think she's a little more reserved than Kiki. She's thinking it. She's not always saying
Yeah,
it. And
yeah.
then when
So
she does
Kiki
say it,
says
she
it.
says it to a couple of people, but not up to everyone, like Kiki would.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, that's it. Although I don't know, I'm torn on if she was actually a good friend to Kiki,
oh no,
like with
no,
everything
she
that
didn't
Kiki
like
was
Kiki at
going
all.
through. She
She-
didn't, did she? And I was
no,
like,
she
why
says
are you
that pretty
actually
much like flat.
friends?
Yeah. Well, because Kiki is a braggart. She comes around, she's loud, she's like, "Hey, look at me, look at me." She won't shut up. You
Yeah,
know, she's always talking about, "I want to lose weight, I want to lose weight," and it's like, girl, you're an athletic, stocky girl. That's what you are. It's just because you
yeah,
play sports. That's what happens. You know.
yeah,
So she's like, "I want to lose," and it's like, and then she won't shut up, and she's like, "I want to lose weight," and she sits there and eats junk food all the time. You're like, "What's wrong with you?"
yeah,
Like, anyway, yeah. So that's what
yeah.
Alex is like. I don't. You're too much. You're too much to handle. I don't like you.
I think there's like a scene where obviously Kiki's going through some stuff and she's obviously wished for something and it seems
Yeah.
to be coming true. And she kind of I think it's before the end, like about in the middle when she's in the hospital and she faints in the hospital. And Alex is kind of like you could almost feel on the page Alex is going, oh, rolling her
This
eyes like, here we go. And it's like she
this would
clearly
to
is
the B
not
again.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Clearly not well. Oh, Lisa's, but I was convinced that group of people just hung out together. They were horrible to each other. They really were.
You know what? They were like a bunch of theater kids. I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now. I was in theater in college, and we all hung out because we were on the same major, but everybody wanted to be it was like watching Glee. Like everybody's backstabbing each other back to back. It was like crazy. And
Yeah.
sleeping with other people behind each other's back. It was a damn soap opera. So I totally get on board with that.
Yeah, yeah. Lisa said none of them liked each other. That's so true.
Mm-mm.
They all hated each other. I was getting a bit confused because there was quite a lot of characters, and the male
Yes.
characters I just couldn't get in my head for so long. I
The
was so
guys, they didn't, she
confused.
described the girls more than she described the guys.
Yeah,
And so all the guys were like, wait, this one wants, and then both of them had, like one person had a problem with his knees, the other person ended up messing up his legs. And then you're like, wait, who are we talking about
yeah.
now? Because
There were so
this guy
many
can't talk and this
times.
guy's out of it. And it's like, wait, what? Who is this? Yeah, the guys she didn't really distinctly give,
No.
didn't give good characteristics where you could like totally figure out who was who. But
Yeah. And even like, I have to admit, even when we got to the end and we got to the reveal, I was just like, wait a sec, just need to check my notes to see which one this was. Scroll, 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 scroll. Because
I
I
got
just
like
couldn't.
Gabe and Marty and Bennett all
Oh,
mixed up.
I
Kyle, I
just got
kind of
them
figured
all.
out, but
Yeah,
yeah.
all confused. Like, I just couldn't get them in my head at all. And all I knew is they all played football. And even then, I was confused because I was like, wait, like, who's the football star? Who's hasn't been playing for a
I think
while? I was just
Kyle was the star. Kyle
right.
was the star. Bennett wanted to be
Yeah,
on the team, but he messed up his knees. And
yeah,
then Gabe and Marty, one of them was like second string, so
yeah.
he would have been going in. That's the only thing I can remember. I can't remember that
So,
much about it, but
yeah, she just didn't. She put more effort into the girl characters, definitely, for sure. I put yeah, they were awful to each other. So many characters too, like Dan Ho always likes to do. Yeah, she does like to put a lot of characters in, but I can't say with a Nightmare Hall I've ever got that confused before. Like I've
yeah,
always found them quite
I
individual.
remember reading The Silent Scream, and
Yeah,
there were a lot of characters in that one because that was an entire dorm or
yeah,
a house, but still, and they all had distinct personalities. You could figure out who was who.
yeah,
But this
definitely.
one was very hard to tell
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah, no. I said, yeah, so confused. Once they got to the football charms, oh yeah, I was even more so. Yeah, so then Alex was obsessed because obviously, as the story progressed, we find out about these football charms that all the footballers are given. And I could not keep track of who'd lost theirs, which I guess was kind of the point, maybe. Like
Yeah.
who'd lost theirs, who'd got theirs, who'd given them to other people. And I was just,
I'm just
yeah.
glad Alex knew. That's all I cared.
Yeah.
Like, at least she kept up with it.
Detective Alex.
Yeah.
Kelly said, yeah, tons of characters and names to try and remember. Yeah, I think
Hmm.
it wouldn't have been too bad if she just distinguished the guys a little bit more, I think, for me. And then at
Exactly.
least I could have, you know, maybe one of them didn't have to play football, but then I guess the necklace thing wouldn't work. I don't know.
Right.
Oh dear. So poor Alex, she does go through. Yeah, we need a spreadsheet, Sharon. That is so true. Poor Alex goes through quite a lot of things, and one thing I did like about the book was that there was like all this meaty, like PG horror kind of scenes,
Hmm.
and some of it was like quite graphic. Like, and I was a bit like, oh, that was quite in detail. So she goes through quite a lot of different things throughout the book. Did you have a favourite, like Alex scenario that she went through?
I don't know about favorite, but the most like impressionable one was basically the one that really happened to her first, besides the car
Mm.
crash, because that was the group. But the one to her when she was in the DJ booth,
Oh
and she gets the
yeah,
phone call to play the song, which was what was it? Play "Who's Sorry Now" for Julie after the car crash,
yeah.
and then like a big gust of wind tries to carry her out the window. Um, and
I
she's
was
holding on
laughing.
to a pipe or something, and you're like, "What am I reading?" I'm like, "She's got to be asleep. She has to have fallen
Yeah,
asleep at the desk." That's the whole thing I'm thinking, and she wasn't. The entire time she was not dreaming.
it's
I was
actually
like, "It's
real.
like what is going on in this book? Like this is ridiculous."
Oh dear, that whole scene though. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, if you're in a high building and it's windy, the gales of wind, the gusts of wind even can
Yeah,
like, get a bit gusty. Is that a word? But not that gusty. Like
I mean,
literally was dragging her across the floor, like
it kind
like
of
The
reminded
Exorcist.
me of that scene in my head. I don't know if you've ever seen Weird Science.
Oh
and
yeah,
and then like all the furniture goes out the chimney and the girl's
yeah.
hanging on and she like her dress gets ripped off of her. She's just in her bra and panties and she gets thrown out through the chimney. Do you remember that? That's what it
Yeah, I
reminded me of. And I was like,
remember
oh my gosh, if her clothes come off, I'm gonna be freaked.
that. What amazed me though was like she was getting pulled along the floor by this invisible gust of wind force, but like
Yeah.
nothing off the desk came off the desk. Like, not even like a stapler or a pencil or anything, like,
Yeah. It was targeting
nothing.
her for sure.
Oh God, yeah, that scene, it's hilarious. And like I think the who is it that walks in who's taken over? I think it was Beth, and then like Beth makes out she was being really dramatic as well, and she's like, I don't remember anyone complaining about the wind before.
Like, and the door was locked.
I,
And now it's like not unlocked. She's like, it was locked.
I was like, ouch, Beth, like, she's lying on the floor cowering like, oh, the wind. And it's like, don't remember anyone complaining before.
It's like this girl is clearly traumatized by something, so at least give her some empathy. My goodness.
Oh dear, Lisa's. But I had to go back and reread that scene because I thought my wine had kicked in at that point. Yeah, I needed wine at that point. I was like, what is going on? That was quite
Yeah,
early on.
it just started happening, and I was like, "Wait, what am I reading?" Like, it just this wind, and oh my gosh,
Oh, Kirsty said they had gusto. Yeah. Hi, Brooker. I think along the lines of crazy, that whole bus scene,
for real.
the bus scene had me. I had to read that scene. I'm sure I've read it now about 4 times because it was just, it was scary and hilarious at the
And
same time.
confusing as to what was going on a little bit. Like at the end,
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait, roll down the steps like this," but it sounded like the person crumpled up into a ball of clothing and just rolled out the door. That's the way it sounded
And
or
went
read.
poof and
Yeah, I was like,
disappeared.
"What?" and dressed like a Ninja Turtle, basically out in daylight. You know what I mean, with the trench coat and the
Yeah.
hat. Yeah.
But the thing is, what I didn't get was, right. So we find out at the end that see, I can't even remember who it is at the end now. Bennett
Yes.
stole the bus, but he had other passengers on there to start with, right? And then they got off.
No, I think it was like it was stopped at the depot that they
Oh,
had.
oh.
Like the driver had gotten out, and then no one was on, like had taken a break, and then he took the bus while the driver was on break.
So more fool
And
Alex getting on a bus with no other passengers.
but it was like it was one of those university shuttles that they
Yeah.
have because it's
So
probably
yeah,
or it takes you around town, around the whole town, and it's a small. It's gonna be a short bus. Like it's
yeah,
gonna be like nothing huge. Something that would I don't know if they have these in England, but when you go to the
yeah,
airport, maybe you'll have like a
like
shuttle
little
that goes to
subtle.
hotels or
Yeah,
to certain hotels or certain like car lots if you're renting a car
yeah.
or something like that. But I
Ah,
don't know
yeah.
if they have that. I know they do
I know
that
what you
usually
mean.
around here. So
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, he goes off the road and goes through all the woods. But just like, the whole scene was just hilarious. And as you say,
he's
the
like, I don't think you're
explanation.
supposed to drive this fast.
Slow down.
Stop it. At the rate we're going, we'll both be killed.
Oh God! And then it
It
was
went
the
on way too long for her to
oh,
like not get up and do something about it. Like,
and then it was just the description, as you say, of this like of the killer essentially,
yeah,
or the driver of this bus with this dirty grey hat yanked down to meet this raincoat, and I thought, sounds like a flasher. Sounds like a flasher to
exactly.
me, not a road bus driver. But yeah. But at the end, even the explanation on like, how Bennett did it is like, oh yeah, quite the ride, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He's so proud of it. He's very
yeah.
proud at the end. Yeah.
Uh, I'm reading here that I guess Sleek said it says it's the fact that you found out he was wearing his football padding. How stupid was Alex not to realize it's a very obvious shape. That is so true. Unless he was a
Yeah.
small person to begin with, that's the only thing I can think of. But you're right. It's going to be very broad shoulders and very. I wonder
Yeah.
if there was. It'd be really funny if the hat was over a helmet because those helmets are huge.
Yeah.
You know.
Because like, how did she not realise it was a football helmet?
No, I don't
Alex
think
is
there is a
going
football helmet. I was
down.
just yeah.
She's going
No,
down
I think it was
in my
just the
estimation.
yeah, just the padding. I think it was just like the body padding, not the helmet. But
I think he does say football. He does. I think he does say football padding and a football helmet.
oh,
Oh, I
well, if he did,
think.
that was a huge hat because that thing would have had to go. That's because helmets are this. They're like motorcycle helmets.
Yeah.
They're pretty big.
How did she not know that? This like huge. Oh, God. Oh dear, Alex. She's going down. April said, "Oh my God, when the driver rolls out of the door." Yeah, like you said, Dustin.
I didn't understand that at all. I was like, wait, was there a person in the coat? Like it looked like the way it was described, it was a ball of clothes rolled out.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, was there anybody in the coat? Like I didn't understand, but yeah.
Oh my God. And Speedway Chick said that bus scene was like Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, definitely. Lisa said I just spat my tea out. We aim to please, Lisa. We aim to please. One of the other one of my other favourite Alex scenes. I mean, I feel like she had like many like good scenes, but
Hmm.
I love the bit where she just ditches her friends and like thinks, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the party that's in her like complex or dorm,
Hmm.
wherever she's staying. And they had pink popcorn. Pink?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what is pink popcorn? Is this a
It's
thing?
just regular popcorn. They dyed the butter pink. That's it.
Oh,
That's all it is.
oh, I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
But I love how she just ditches them, and then she's like just wistfully looking out the window just at the right opportunity to see something going on the radio tower with someone with a very long arm.
And the way he moves, I can't put my finger on it. Like,
Can't quite put my finger on it, but yeah, it was a crutch.
yeah,
Like a
it's
thick.
like, that's a really long arm. It's bony.
He would have looked very thin, right?
Yeah.
Like, how could she not tell that it wasn't actually an arm? I don't get it.
I mean, I guess it was kind of, maybe it was one of those like dark, but you could see by the moonlight, so you can't see too clearly, but you could see something going on, you know?
Yeah,
That's the only thing I
yeah.
could think of. And how far away was it? Like what was
Mm,
the distance between buildings, you
yeah.
know? And that's one thing I didn't, were they like this big to her? Was it a little bigger? Like how,
Yeah.
gross.
It made me laugh though after because so basically, obviously Kyle gets pushed off the roof, and then like she decides then to go investigate that place where he got pushed off to find
Hmm.
evidence. And she's standing there. You'll laugh at me at this. And she kept going on about the flower or the plant next to her, kept brushing her thing, and I thought maybe the plant like just knocked him off or something, and that was the arm. Because I thought the way this book is going, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Like, because she said it about 3 or 4 times about it brushing her arm, and I thought maybe like the wind came again and just went, and like she thought that was the arm. Like my mind
Yeah.
was going crazy at that point, and I thought, what is
I
going
mean,
on?
it wouldn't be the craziest story, you know.
No, it's believable. Like
I would, yeah, as far as this context of this goes, for sure. Um, I
um,
was just thinking, you were talking about the pink popcorn, and it popped in my head. We had around this time, this was 93, so it would have been like early 90s, 91, 92-ish.
yeah.
We had a thing over here called Mystery Pop,
Mm.
and you would get a bag of popcorn, and then you would pop it, and then it would be it'd be a random color. So it might be green, it might be
Oh,
blue or pink or purple or red or something like that because the butter was dyed. Or it'd be white. They dye the
yeah.
butter white, so just be plain looking white popcorn, but it'd be buttered tasting.
Oh,
So
that's so cool.
it was really neat. So I don't know if I guess you guys didn't have that
Oh, I
over
wish
there,
you
but
could get that now. That would be so brilliant.
it would be
It's
neat. I
like,
think they should bring it back.
yeah. Shaman said Nightmare Hall meets the Triffids. Yeah, that's what I was
What,
imagining in my head.
I don't know the
Like,
Triffids. What's the
is it
Triffids?
like a plant kind of horror sci-fi thing? I
Oh, I don't
think.
know.
Oh, Sharon, correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I thought in my head. But you know what goes
Oh,
on in my head. Oh, April said she completely forgot about that popcorn.
yeah.
Oh,
It was good.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't good. It was a smaller bag than you would normally get. It were because they had several in there, and you would kind of try to guess which one you got because it was so
Yeah.
the way the paper was so thick, you couldn't see the color through the paper until you popped it, and
Yeah.
then you got to see it. So
Yeah.
um, that was always fun. Mystery pop.
Yeah, Melina said Nightmare Hall meets Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah, so meet the Triffids sci-fi horror TV show from the 70s. It's very good.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
thought so.
I guess that was a British thing. I don't think we had that here. If we did, it wasn't as
Oh,
successful.
okay, interesting. So with all these characters and all the goings on, did you have
Hmm.
a favourite character at all out of all of them, if you can remember them?
I mean, I will say, I guess, I mean, I'm going to say that Alex was my favorite because she seemed like
Oh,
the most down to earth.
yeah.
But I will say one of the most atrocious characters was Jenny
Oh,
for how she just
Jenny.
kind of like, I'm going to assimilate into my sister's standing.
Oh,
Now she looks all janked up in the face. I'm going to start wearing her
I
clothes and
I
putting all
was
those makeup.
shocked.
And the whole time I'm watching because she was Gabe. Yes, that was her boyfriend. It's
Yes.
Gabe. And
Yeah.
so even Alex at one point thinks it's Gabe, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe it's Gabe and Jenny because they both wanted like something for themselves and they both conspired and made things happen
Oh.
with each other. And that's what I was thinking was going on the whole time. So I was like,
Oh.
Jenny's just a little too
She
happy with her
was
sister being in the
very
hospital.
happy. She was very happy. I mean, she even puts like her sister's clothes on. So they're twins, right? And like, yeah, they're twins. I'm sure
Hmm.
they were, weren't they?
Yeah,
And so
well, not
she's even like
identical, but yeah.
copying her style, yeah, and stuff. Oh dear. But I'll tell you what, Julie's the one in hospital
Hmm.
and Jenny's the one that seems very happy about that and doesn't even go to visit her. Even she just
I know. And who gave Julie the mirror?
oh yeah.
Remember that? And they
Because
never bring it up later on. I was like,
no.
who gave her the mirror? Was it Bennett? Was it the wizard? Who did it?
Because Alex asks Bennett that at the end, doesn't she? And he goes, "What mirror?" And then it kind of just gets glossed over. Then
Yeah,
I was, I reckon then Jenny gave her the mirror. Do you
I think
think?
she did. I
Yeah,
think
I
Jen. That's why I
think
was
she
like,
did.
and just played dumb.
Yeah, I think she definitely gave her the mirror. Oh dear, Jenny. But she did have a good like gold blouse and like black velvet jeans combo at one point, and it just sparked a memory in me because when I was younger, I was obsessed with Shirley from Garbage, and she used to always wear these like velvet jeans, like in like
Hmm.
different colours. And I always remember we was on holiday. I want to say we was up in Scotland somewhere, and we went into a clothes shop there, and they had these like rusty coloured like velvet jeans, and I always remember buying them, and they were like my favourite thing ever. I wore them all the time, and so that like sparked a little memory in me. I was like, oh, they should bring back velvet jeans. So cool, bit hot, but cool
Yeah, like
at the
corduroy.
same time.
It's like, oh, those,
Yeah.
but then you're like, oh man, sweltering.
Heather put, I don't remember popcorn, but I remember the different coloured ketchups.
Yes,
Oh, they bought some like that out here, some different coloured
it was Heinz.
ones.
Heinz had
Yeah.
they had regular red, then they had green and purple.
Mm,
And my mom, we had bought the green kind,
yeah.
and I went into the hospital, and so my mom for a little while, and then I got out, and my mom was making a meatloaf, and you make that with ketchup, and she ran out of ketchup,
Yeah.
and so she's like, I guess I'll use this. She used it, and it made the meatloaf look like it was molded because it was all green, and no one would touch it. It was totally fine, but no one would touch it, and so we wasted this
Oh,
whole
that's so
meatloaf.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Lisa said, I thought it was Jenny at first just from her actions. Ah, so she was a good red herring then. Very good.
Hmm.
Caroline said that Jenny side plot would have made a good book in itself. Yeah, I want to know from Jenny's point of view.
Like when she just went, she's like, "Oh, I hope her face gets messed up. I hope it gets messed up." She would have,
Oh
mm,
dear. Kelly put, I totally thought it was Jenny. She was the one gaining the most from the events. Ah, interesting. Ah, so I didn't have a clue. I have to admit, like, I think Lisa put on her post that she guessed who it was, and like when I found out, it was kind of obvious, I guess, but I
yeah,
didn't
you're
guess
like,
it.
okay, I can see it, but
But I
yeah,
didn't guess. I mean, I'm talking about the human element. So Benny, it's like I didn't guess it was going to be him because I was convinced all the way through that after the car crash that Alex was. This is where I go a bit wild. So after the car crash, Alex was actually in a coma, and all this was like just her coma-induced brain thinking of all this stuff going on.
yeah.
And then I thought the last page was going to be her waking up and realizing it was a dream, like in Dallas.
It's just the next day. Yeah,
Yeah, honestly, that's what I thought. So I thought, no, this is just too wacky. Like, there's no way she's got to be dreaming all of this up. There's no way. Gusts of wind, like weird
she wakes up and
arms.
it's like 30 years later. Like everybody's graduated college, she's got to go back and live at Nightmare
Yeah,
Home.
like honestly, that's what I thought. So I didn't guess it because my mind just went off on a whole tangent of wild.
Yeah.
Kirsty said, I did wonder if it was just supernatural until the whole football necklaces. Ah, yeah. April said that would have been so cool, especially since she had that wild nightmare. Yeah. And I think
Oh, Sharon.
when she has the wild nightmare as well, she goes, I have a smorgasbord of bad dreams or nightmares or something.
Yeah.
It just made me giggle. Sharon says, I'm wondering if I'm dreaming you all. Yeah. Lisa said, no, that would have been a brilliant area for the story. Oh, a brilliant idea for the story. Yeah,
Very good
see?
idea.
Yeah. So, sometimes my ideas aren't like that far out compared to the book.
Write it.
I know. So did you so obviously it turns out that the whole wizard character has been, so no, Bennett has been working with the wizard, and there is this kind of supernatural element. And we always say we want a supernatural element in these point horrors.
This was
But what did you think?
wacky.
Did you like it that it was that
I kind of
supernatural?
did, but it was like wacky. Like it was like
Yeah.
what? Like he's my friend. He's my friend. He's the wizard. He does things for me, and I do things for him. And that's what he was
Yeah.
doing. And so he was like, so like he's gonna help me get on the football team. He was like, yeah, but he didn't fix your knees. He was like, it comes and goes, and I had to kill for him again, so I can get my knees to work. What?
I mean, how long was this friendship going to go on for?
And
Like.
when did this exchange happen? Did this happen like before they all started making wishes at Benny's? Did Bennett find this
Mm.
wizard thing there before he's the first to use it ever? And the wizard was like,
Yeah.
Bennett, I like you. Come here, Bennett. Come here.
Yeah, that is true. Like, why
I
did he
want that
pick
story.
Bennett?
Yeah.
Like,
How did he get picked? Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, that is a good point. Like, why him? Like, is it because maybe he like just agreed to sell his soul to him, good old horror movies do. Like, I'll do anything for you, Mr. Wizard. Oh, that sounds really dodgy, but you know what
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean. Anything for you. But yeah, so you wasn't sure, it was just a bit too wacky, the supernatural bit for you.
It wasn't too wacky, but it was wacky.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, okay, this wizard's been doing. It made sense what happened in the DJ booth at least at the beginning because it was like, what
Yeah.
is going on? And I was
Yeah.
like, this has got to be a dream, and then it wasn't. And I was like, but then everything else felt very human-like. Everything else that
Mm,
happened, except
yeah.
for well, besides the coat jumping out of the bus,
I still
but
can't stop laughing. Yeah.
so like everything else seemed pretty human-like except for that thing, and I was like, that made no sense. What was this doing here? So it made at least that make sense,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm not sure how I felt about it. I feel like Diane Hoh was told you need to put maybe she was told you need to put a supernatural element in and she didn't want to. So she just made it like the worst supernatural
Well,
element. Like, I just didn't buy it. I couldn't
so
get.
far she wrote the first one and this one, right?
She
So both of
wrote,
those had supernatural ones in it.
oh, yeah. So Silent
There was a
Scream,
ghost in
she
the
wrote.
first one.
Yeah. And then the one we read last year, Deadly Attraction, she wrote that one.
What happened with
And
Deadly
this one,
Attraction? I forgot that one. It was.
all I remember is the plant pot death from that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the girl lived on the other side of town, or somebody lived in the wrong side of town.
Yeah, and I won't spoil it in case people haven't read it, but there was the whole like chemistry thing at the end, wasn't there? With
Yeah,
in the house, yeah.
it was weird. Yeah, I
Yeah, it was a
remember
bit
that.
strange.
But yeah, she usually has these supernatural elements, at least in the Nightmare Halls, for the most part.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see.
Now I think about it, but this was just too. I liked it. Like, I wish you'd just gone one way or the other. So had no Bennett and just gone full supernatural,
Yeah.
rather than have this like unknown entity of like
Or at least
how.
giving us more of Bennett and his situation with the wizard. Like, just give us a little bit more of that, so I can
Yeah,
understand it more. I guess to understand
yeah,
why this was so. I don't know. I just felt
yeah.
like he just snapped. Like, I want better knees, so I'll kill people. What? Like,
But really, all he did was the Kyle bit, right?
for the
Because the
most
wizard did the
part.
rest.
Well, then he drove the bus.
Oh, and the bus, yeah. I've blanked that out of my memory now.
Yeah.
So the bus, because he was trying to kill Alex. So basically, the wizard was responsible for also trying to kill Alex and was responsible for Marty not being able to do his speech because he gets like the silence is golden
And
thing, I think.
Alex didn't even have a wish.
Yeah, she didn't. So,
She didn't. So why did it
oh,
go after her like so early on? She didn't
yeah,
even have a wish. She didn't go up to the thing. She's like, I don't like that thing. I guess it knew that she didn't
yeah,
like it because it was kind of working telepathy on her, wasn't it? It
yeah,
was kind of talking to her through telepathy. Maybe it
yeah.
read her mind somehow
So
and was like, I'm going to
maybe,
scare her.
yeah, maybe originally he was trying to recruit Alex to do his bidding, maybe
Mm.
because she was so afraid of him. maybe something like that. So maybe the wizard thought, I've thought about this too much. The wizard thought that he could manipulate her more, but she was obviously too strong to be manipulated.
Yeah,
Maybe. Hmm. Yeah.
possibly.
But yeah, I just kind of wish it had gone full wizard and not had like a human element to it for me, I think.
Yeah.
I could have perhaps bought it a little bit more then. I think it wouldn't have took me out of like thinking, wait.
Or even if Bennett, it explained that Bennett was possessed the entire time, and he wasn't like, maybe the wizard possessed him, made him do these things, and he was like, I made a deal, but I don't know, I don't want to do it anymore. That would have been a little bit more
Mm,
like he's being taken over and he's made to do it no matter what kind of
yeah.
thing. That would have been a bit
No.
better, I think. But
Yeah, that would have been good. I like that. Um, Kirsty said I would have preferred it if it was just supernatural, to be honest, because that would have been creepy. Yeah,
mhm.
definitely. Kelly said it was a change for the supernatural activities actually being from a supernatural source. I've been a cynic as so many point havers are just troubled teens. Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Speed Ray Chick said, yeah, I like the supernatural aspect, and the bit at the end was like Jumanji. I always say this wrong. Is it Jumanji?
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Right.
Another word I can't say. So it was like Jumanji when you try.
I love how you, it was like Jumanji. And then you go like Jumanji. Like, it's funny how you're so careful with it.
I know, because
Oh
I'm
my
so
God, what was the
bad.
other word you couldn't say? Oh my
Oh
God.
no, poltergeist.
Yeah, poltergeist.
Poltergeist. I still can't
Geist.
say
Just
it.
Geist.
Poltergeist.
No,
Geist.
just Geist. Yes.
What it is. I don't know what it is. It's like I've obviously been traumatized
You're
from childhood that
like
I can't
Benedict
say it.
Cumberbatch trying to say penguin. Like
Yeah, peng,
pingwing. Like pingwing.
penguin.
Pingwing. What that's not how you say it, Ben.
Oh dear. But yeah, so it was like Jumanji when you try and get rid of something, Speedway Chick said.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously you get that that creepy epilogue um at the end where obviously the wizard could be repaired.
Oh God, yeah. That felt
Didn't
very
need that.
Chucky. That felt very Chucky,
Yeah.
like I'm coming back. And I
Yeah.
wonder if there's another book with him in it again.
Oh,
I wonder.
yeah,
No,
that
it
would
went
be
to a different
cool.
it went to a different town, I think. I think that's what happened at the end. It was going
Yeah.
to a different town.
Um, oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. Kirsty said maybe Bennett needed a Care Bear stare. Yeah. Sharon said agree. It would have been better pure supernatural. Yeah, we didn't
Hmm.
need Bennett. Bennett and his dodgy knees. I mean, I feel for him. I feel like my knees are getting dodgy now. I'm getting older. Maybe I need a wizard. Lisa said, I want the wizard story. How did he become the wizard? Who was he before becoming a doll in a box? Yeah, that would be so cool. Like Annabelle, you get Annabelle creation and stuff like that.
Nightmare
That'd be
Hall
so cool.
Origins.
Yeah.
It could
Oh,
be like it could also start off like in the semester before when the girl hung herself for Silent
yeah.
Scream.
Yeah. That would be
It could have
so
been a prequel
cool.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Sharon said, I did like the fact that it had an epilogue. Oh, okay. They usually end very abruptly. I was a bit like eye rolly at the epilogue, I have to admit. I was a bit
It was
like,
corny by today's standards because they didn't use this was not about that at that time. It wasn't that corny. It was kind of
yeah,
oh, but now they've done it so much in that kind of vein that we're so
yeah.
used to it.
Lisa said we should write it. The book club follow up, starting with the wizard, and then book 3 Bennett's story.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, we might get confused with all the other characters because I'm still not quite sure I knew who he was. A line at a time, Kirsty said. Caroline says it probably still wouldn't get as unhinged as this.
For
Yes, this
real.
one was very unhinged. And Kelly said it felt quite Forbidden Game.
It
Oh, yeah,
did.
it did a little bit.
Just kind of
Yeah,
wacky like that because Forbidden Game was like the random games that became alive somehow and
yeah.
talk to you. Didn't they have like a wizard or a fortune teller in Forbidden Game
I
at
think
one point?
so. I think so. In the last one, I think there was
It was like in
something.
the
Oh dear.
carnival or something.
Yeah, at the carnival, yeah. My
Yeah.
memory's so bad. Like, it really, if I haven't got notes, that's it, I've had it. But yeah, I think there was something like that, like a creepy thing. Um, but yeah, did you? So I noticed, I love with Nightmare Hall that if you have read the other books, there are a few cameos, and
Hmm.
normally it is mainly like the ones from book one,
Right.
essentially. So did you notice the cameos in
Yes.
this?
So it was
Yeah.
at the football game, and they were sitting in front of, I think, Milo, Ian, and Jessica.
Yes.
They were,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
And
was
I was
there?
that's why, that's another reason why I think it's the same semester,
Yeah, it's
because
gotta
the
be.
same characters keep coming back too. So,
Yeah. And there was a mention to Finn Conran, which I think was from Silent Scream as
mm,
well. Kath Devon. So she was the one who was meant to come into the radio. I think to after Alex's shift.
hmm,
And she didn't come in. I think she was from Silent Scream as well. But I love that little connection.
yeah.
Kind of like that.
Well, it's like the beginning, Fear Street, like the first like few sets of Fear Street, they mention a lot of the same characters. They pass them in the hall at school or
Yeah,
something. So they had that connection. Then as it went on, it was like completely new people, you know.
yeah. No, definitely. And then I also liked as well that there was a shout out to Robert Parker Q from the Deadly Attraction book. So
Yes,
he
I
was,
remember seeing that. I
yeah,
forgot about that. Yeah.
it was like he used to do Beth Lacey's job. So Beth, who's like, no one's ever been scared of wind before. So he used to do her job, even though that was never mentioned in Deadly Attraction. So it was
Yeah.
just like
Well,
a random,
he was older though, wasn't he? He was the big man
yeah,
on campus. So
big man on campus.
so
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
older, so he must have done it the year before. That's the only thing I could think
Mm.
of.
Yeah. So I kind of liked that. I like little
Hmm.
connections because, like, you just think, oh, I remember them, like little old friends.
And if you're reading them like back to back, you're definitely going to
Mm.
catch it more.
Yeah.
And that's why it would
Yeah.
make a good, a good anthology in general. It's good
Mm.
when, especially if you have it all taking place in the same, everybody cross paths somewhere in the story.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of interesting to see if these are happening at the same time. Like, when is this person's thing happening? When is this book's happening? You know what I mean? Are they happening
Yeah.
exact same time, or is it like within a few months of each other? Something like
Mm.
that.
Yeah. No, definitely. Heather's put, I was laughing at, oh, Heather, you just want me to say it again? Poltergeist? Geist?
Guys,
And
that's it.
Jumanji. Did I say it right? No.
You're close enough. Yeah.
Getting there. I'm learning. I'm learning.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
dear. So just one character I did want to just talk about just a little bit more, who I kind of really liked and I wanted to know more about, was Kiki, who we mentioned earlier. Um, so I liked Kiki because I just liked what she just said what she thought, and she didn't really care, although she did upset people, I guess. But I quite liked the. I don't want to say I liked the journey that she went on, because obviously it was horrific, and she ended up, emancipated because of the wizard. But I just,
I think you mean emaciated.
oh yes,
She was free.
but she could have been free.
She was free from her from the fat on her body. I guess I could say that, emancipated from the fat.
Oh no! As soon as I said it, I thought that didn't
You're
sound
like,
right, but I thought no,
did I
I'll
say what
go
I
with
think I
it.
said? Yeah.
Oh
Wait
god.
a minute. It's okay. It happens. But no, you know what I thought? I thought like, okay, I didn't know that was when I wasn't thinking supernatural too much besides the wind thing. I was thinking maybe someone had done something to her like they did in my best friend exorcism and gave her a
Yeah,
tapeworm. That's what I thought was
yeah.
going on.
That's what I
And why didn't the
thought.
hospital go, she looks really like over the period of like a week or so, she went down to skeletal
Yeah.
form. And she's been in that
Mm,
hospital several times. Did no one notice she's lost way too much
yeah.
weight?
Yeah. It was somebody should have picked up on it. Everyone's laughing at me. She was free and skinny. I'm so sorry.
She's free and skinny.
Oh dear, you can't take me anywhere, honestly. But yeah, I agree. Someone should have picked up on that. And but then also on the other hand as well, I mean, I can't speak like on behalf of people who've had anorexia and that, but I feel like it it wasn't portrayed too badly because they did show her eating and then obviously and I just kind of thought it was dealt with reasonably well, but that might just be me. And I
Yeah,
just
I mean,
thought,
I can see it. And they're saying she probably has an eating disorder. She doesn't eat enough. And they're like, well, she
mm,
obviously does. She eats a bunch of junk. Oh, that doesn't fill you up. I'm like, that could also be bulimia.
mm,
I
mm,
mean, people throwing
yeah,
up. So they didn't go
no,
there with that.
definitely. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, like I was saying, she was at that hospital so
Mm.
much, and those the whole time of the book. I don't. How long does the book take place over? Like a couple of
I
weeks,
think
I
it's only
guess.
a couple of weeks, yeah.
So she loses because she is stocky at the beginning of the book, and then she's like
Mm,
skin and bone within a couple of weeks.
yeah.
And like somebody just said, April just said, it reminds me of Stephen King's Thinner.
Mm,
It's kind of like that. Like it's happening way too fast for it to be natural,
yeah.
or for that's why I was like, it must be a tapeworm. Like it's just eating
Mm,
everything, you know.
yeah.
And
And I was convinced Jenny was doing something because I thought maybe she was like jealous of the girls a little bit because you kind of got that vibe from her. Although she went a bit self-obsessed, I guess.
yeah,
But yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to mention Kiki because as a character, I did actually quite like her, and I thought out of all of them, well, okay, fair enough. Kyle got pushed off a building, and in a coma, but out of all of them, I thought she went on the more horrific journey. But now I say that, I feel bad for Kyle. But yeah,
because you
yeah,
know
we
what,
can also.
Kyle did wish for something. He just didn't play the wizard. He didn't get a fortune.
Mm,
He wished for
yeah,
peace and quiet, and that's
yeah.
why he got in the coma. And so that's
Mm.
interesting. I was like, because I remember reading, I was like, wait, did he even get? I went back through. I was like, did he even get a fortune? I was like, I didn't see that he got a fortune at all. But I remember
No,
he
I don't
wished
think
for
he
peace and
did.
quiet, and
Yeah,
that was it.
yeah, yeah. Oh, we all wish for peace and quiet. Oh no, we don't mean that, wizard.
On a tropical island,
Yes,
that's luxury, a
with
resort,
no wizard.
free food, Wi-Fi, everything you want, right there, but quiet.
I like that. Oh dear. And out of all of so we've read four Nightmare Hall books so far. So out of all
Yes.
of the four, which has been your favourite so far?
Uh, I do like The Wish the most. I think because
Oh,
it kept me
I
going.
wasn't
What
expecting
is going
that.
on? You know, I, I liked it because of that, because it made me guess more. The other one's
Yeah,
just kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. Like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, maybe it's this. I wasn't like at this one made me go, WTF? I don't
yeah,
understand.
that's true.
It might not have been the outcome that I wanted, but I still was interested the most in this of what was going
Yeah,
on. So
yeah. Do you know, before this chat, I was a bit like about the book. I thought it was okay, but not my
yeah.
favourite. But now we've chatted about it, and I always find this when I talk about it, then I convince myself I like it more. So I
Hmm.
kind of like it for being different, but then I just wish that Diane Hoh had just gone full supernatural, as I said. But yeah, which one was my favourite? I mean, I do like Silent Scream. I mean, I do like
Hmm.
that one. Um, but yeah, actually, maybe I can't pick. That's so hard. They've all got like different scenes in that I love. Like I just never forget the plant pot death. Yeah,
The what?
Sharon
The
says
what?
the plant pot death in
Oh yeah.
Deadly Attraction. So Sharon said death by plant pot is still my favourite scene. Oh dear. Kelly Foot, was it the lightning that brought the wizard to life? Oh, interesting question. What do you think? Do you think he was always alive, or do you think that did bring him to life?
No, I think he was always alive. I think that was maybe he was gaining more power from the lightning strike. I don't know, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he was
Mm.
always because that happened after they'd all made their wishes and gotten their cards the first time around.
Yeah,
That didn't happen at the very beginning.
before they had
So
the car
that was
crash.
that was after the car
Yeah,
crash that the lightning struck. So
yeah. Oh, I just have to mention with that car crash, just something that made me laugh. I think this book made me laugh the most, I have to admit, was the car crash had happened. It's really like well
Hmm.
written. Like Diane Hoh does do a good job of, like, she mentions about the car being like an accordion and that crushes whichever of the boy was in the front, crushes his
Gabe,
legs, and then
I think
the
it was Gabe.
yeah, was it Gabe? And then obviously Julie, she describes Julie hitting the front and obviously injuring her face, and it's described so well. And then obviously you get Alex coming around, and you really get that confusion and
Hmm.
of what's just happened, and she can't remember people's names. And then the thing that took me out of that scene then was one of the boys, and I can't remember which one it was now, came up to the window. Now, bear in mind, there's probably broken glass at the front that he could have just shouted through, but he smushes his face up against the window, and Alex goes, "Oh, it's like a smushed up pumpkin," or something like that. And oh dear, it just like, oh, it just made me laugh because I thought in that moment, that's probably exactly what I would think. I'd be like, oh, cute little pumpkin. Oh yeah, just made me laugh. Um, Speedway Chick said an extreme way to get a coma could have killed him or life-changing injuries. What happened to Kyle? Yeah, is he still in a coma? Because we don't find out right at the
I know. I'm
end. You know,
like, did
when they all
Julie ever
meet
get her
up.
face fixed enough to look somewhat normal again? Like,
Yeah. So like at the end, who meets up at the end? Like, so da da da
does
da. So
Marty ever get his voice back?
oh wait, yeah, because it kind of says Alex nodded, fingering the small golden football worn on her chain around her neck. Of course, we're going to win. And Kyle, Marty, and Gabe will probably all play. So they were all playing football again in the final
Okay.
minutes, just like last week. And then Julie asked, "Are we going to Vinny's?" Because, you know, after all that's happened, they still want to go to Vinny's. So we don't know what happened to. So Julie, hang on, who? Julie's the one
Julie's the one with
who
the face messed up.
face. So we don't find out. So where on earth is Jenny? So Jenny's not in the final pages. Oh, they ditched
Julie
her
probably
off.
killed her for stealing all her clothes.
Yeah. So we find out Kyle, Marty, and Gabe may still play football. Julie. So basically, yeah, it's Jenny we don't know. Oh, and Kiki. Kiki's not mentioned at the end either. Oh no, Kiki is there. She eats the chips out of the Alex's hand. Yum, yum, yum,
Like
yum,
a little
yum.
bird.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Lisa said I rated this one 2 stars, but after this chat, it's now a 5-star masterpiece. See, it helps to talk.
Yeah,
It
sometimes
helps to
it's a
talk
group
it
effort.
through.
It's a group
Yeah,
thing, a group experience.
yeah, because I wasn't convinced when I finished it last week, and then I just had to refresh my memory today, and I was flicking through, and I thought for comedy value, I rate it, but I'm not sure on the story. But now I'm
Hmm.
like, kind of like it. Stephen said Silent Scream is the only one I remember. It's a good one. Kirsty said I like this one most too. Ah, knocked half off for Bennett. Yeah, yeah, that was a bit weak. Oh,
Hmm.
Kirsty said all they needed extra was a log lorry. Oh yeah, like Final
Yeah.
Destination. Yeah, and Kelly says we don't actually find out how it was resolved. Yeah, where did Bennett? Yeah, where did Bennett go? Like, did he die? Because she clobbers him over the head, doesn't she?
I'm gonna
And he like,
guess, but they didn't even say they could have a throwaway line if he was in jail or something. They could have just
yeah,
said something, or he was
yeah.
in a mental institution, or
Or maybe the epilogue, right, is like in the future and he goes and hunts the wizard because they've got that like connection now.
that's possible.
Ooh.
Or what if the wizard like Alex killed him by hitting him over the head, and the wizard like absorbed his soul,
Oh, I like that.
so he
Yeah.
became one
Yeah.
with the wizard. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
more
go
power.
with that. See, Diane Hoh, call us.
We've got ideas.
We've got ideas. Speedway Chick said, yeah, so many unanswered questions. Yeah, definitely. But overall, we had fun with this one, right, Dustin? Yeah. And Caroline says, I rated it 4 stars. I thought it was fun. Low standards. We're easily pleased, Caroline. Easily
It's
pleased.
YA horror. It's going to get wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we like Point Horror and like Fear Street and things, because we like the wacky.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, so Dustin, so next week, I did have a 2-week gap, but unfortunately we've moved it closer. But next week we're going to be chatting about the Scream team.
Yeah, mine's over there. I didn't grab it, but no,
it's all right. But this one, interestingly enough, isn't an authentic Diane Hoh. This is written by Deathkins.
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Is that her real name? That's listed?
Yeah. So Nola Lafaka. Yeah. So Nola Lafaka, I think it says in the front. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I saw the name, but I just didn't know that was her. So.
Yeah, so it's Deathkins. So she's the one who wrote The Roommate. So I'm really intrigued to see what this one's about. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
It's interesting so far. I'm like 3 chapters in. So.
I wanted to do 2 Nightmare Halls because there's so many, like in the series, that I thought, it'd be cool to do 2. And then, like, you know, I'd like to get through them, do you know what I mean? And complete the series. And I think there's about like 29 altogether, so we'll be here for a few years.
We do 2 at a time, and you know, and every once in a while we can do one in the spring. You never know. We can do something like that. You know.
Yeah. Well, Dustin, thank you for being our special guest.
Thank you.
Fun as always, and correcting my my wording.
I'm sorry.
I don't know whether that was better than when I accidentally said Nightmare Hall instead of Hall.
She looked all emancipated. She was a free woman. Like, whoa.
Oh, you wait till I go and tell Kev after this. He's just gonna like put his head in his hand and be like,
Shirley.
Not again. Not live on the internet for everyone to see, Shella. Oh, but thank you, Dustin. I'm so glad you enjoyed this one. That's so cool.
I did. Yeah. I really liked it a lot. So, thank you for everybody for chatting.
Yeah, thank you for everyone in the chat as well. And yeah, off to watch Strictly, Sharon says, definitely. Yeah, thanks for all your fab comments, and we'll see you next week. Come and join us next week, Grandpa Scream team. Come and read this one. We can compare whether it like is as good as Diane Hoh's ones.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks Dustin. Love you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.